Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to my film and TV channel. I hope you enjoy what I've got for you today, and please check out as you're watching this little links on screen as well for different things on my Facebook and Twitter, and of course my football channel as well. And please, all your comments are very welcome. Just let us know and push that subscribe button. Don't forget, please push the subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are set to public as well if you want to know when these vlogs are coming out. Push that notification button as well. So anyway, please enjoy. Right, today we're going to have a look at a film called Malignant. Yeah, an hour and 51 minutes. This is a horror film. Getting quite a lot of hype on various sources. An 18 certificate, directed of course by James Wan. So yeah, he's a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't he, old James Wan, but more on that in a little while. A screenplay by Akela Cooper, based on an original story by Wan, Ingrid Bisu and Cooper as well. The film stars Annabelle Wallis as a woman who begins to have visions of people getting murdered, only to realise the events are happening in real life. Of course they are. Maddie Hassan also stars George Young, Nicola Brianna White and Jacqueline McKenzie. It was released in the United States on September the 10th, 2021, and pretty much all over the place, and it's here in the UK as well, etc. And it's under New Line Cinema, and it will stream on HBO Max if you're lucky to have that as well for just 1 month, so get on that quickly if you can. Is it any good? Well, all these scores and reviews was at the 14th of September, 14th of September at 9 AM in the morning UK time. Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, an approval rating of 76%, so that's a positivity rating if you like. That's based on 89 critics. An average rating of 6.3 out of 10, yeah, so that means all the 76% is just people who like are sort of positive on it, and obviously 6.3 is the average rating out of 10. 68 fresh reviews and 21 rotten, so probably about 3-to-1 ratio. A couple of the fresh, you've got Matt Donato from What to Watch. He says, Malignant isn't James Wan as he's most refined or sharpened, but it's unapologetically the horror maestro at his zaniest, highest reaching and most absurdly enjoyable. And also another fresh from Hannah Flint from Empire magazine. Yes, I do subscribe to Empire magazine, you can probably tell. There's a hodgepodge of ideas going on that don't always seamlessly fit, but Wan's homage to 80s horror and Wallace's fretful performance has a bloody lot of guts. Of course he does. But there is some rotten, and one of the rottens was Charles, like, well, I should know that, shouldn't I? Charles Bramesco from The Guardian. He said, around the midway point, the script shifts gears into an agreeable register of B-movie lunacy, but it takes too much of nearly 2 hour runtime to get there. Well, it's not quite 2 hours. It's probably about an hour and 45 minutes, allowing for credits, etc. But I take his point, but I think he's over-egging it just a little bit. The website's consensus, Rotten Tomatoes, although Malignant isn't particularly scary, probably isn't, director James Wan's return to horror contains plenty of gory thrills and a memorably bonkers twist. Yeah, again, sentiments I don't disagree with. Metacritic, the other site we have a look at, just 50 out of 100, so just about halfway. That's based on 22 critics, so they weren't quite as impressed as Rotten Tomatoes guys. 6 positive, 5 negative, and 11 mixed. So pretty much, I'd say, that's pretty spread down the middle, isn't it? And it scores anywhere between 25 out of 100 and 80 out of 100. IndieWire's Jude Dry gave it 40 out of 100 and said, a humorless melodrama about a woman haunted by her past. Malignant sits somewhere between a slasher, a ghost story, and a possession flick, never fully embracing either. Either? 3 of them? You have either? I thought it was for 2. Probably not, I don't know. The result is a confusing melange of genre archetypes that lacks a clear point of view, even a surface-level stylistic one. But William Bibiani from The Wrap, yeah, he liked it. He gave it 80 out of 100. He said, Malignant might not hold up to scrutiny, but by the time all its mysteries are revealed, it's clear that it was never supposed to. It's an absurdly entertaining fright fest with a heavy emphasis on the absurd. And thank heaven or hell for it. There you go. Audience, that audience on Metacritic, yeah, they don't often get those because there's not usually many, but it's quite a few this time. So I thought I'd put it on here. 6.2 out of 10. So again, they're sort of getting up towards the Rotten Tomatoes figures. That's the Metacritic audience itself. On to Joe Public, you, me, people like me. Well, we've got quite a lot of reviews, so obviously a lot of people who tuned into HBO Max. I think not so much perhaps going to the cinema, but I think it's been okay at the cinema. 19,545 scores and reviews left on Internet Movie Database. 6.3 out of 10. So again, a very similar feel to the audience figures that we've already talked about. Of those 19,545 people, 13,608, a massive and acceptable 70% of the audience scored it 6 or above. So hey, it bodes well. So I was hopeful, I must admit, going in to watch this. I'd read a little bit about it. I hadn't watched the trailers, which is sometimes asking for trouble if you do that. But yeah, I was hopeful for this. And basically, it is a horror. It isn't particularly scary, which isn't great for a horror, which isn't ideal. But I will accept sort of gruesome, which it certainly is in parts, and a bit daft if it's played a bit more tongue-in-cheek. And it is a bit daft, although it's not trying to be tongue-in-cheek particularly, which sort of knocks it down just a little bit. I mean, the first 45 minutes does struggle along a little bit, but the craziness and the idiocy of the last hour just about rescued it as far as I was concerned. Anyway, from reading the reviews, a lot of people think a similar thing. Rather than fully embracing the silliness, it does take itself a little bit too seriously at times. And in particular, the two police detectives are possibly, because of the way they play their parts, a bit of a letdown, to be honest with you. Both the characters played, and in all fairness, that I don't think the actors did a very good job either. So they're not obviously the main crux of the film, but they are a big part of it. And I think if those two police detectives have been better given better lines, a better style, it may have made a better film of it. But they were both a bit of a letdown for me, and it sort of ruined some of the watching until it sort of got going later on, where you can just ignore them anyway because other things are happening. But yeah, that was the main crux of my problem with this. But by the end, of course, someone mentioned the word absurd before, and yes, the absurdity just about won me over. In a way, say something like Jeepers Creepers did, although this, for me, is nowhere near Jeepers Creepers. But, I mean, despite very similar scores on Internet Movie Database, I mean, Jeepers Creepers is, if this was a 6 out of 10, Jeepers Creepers would be a 7.58 out of 10. It's a sort of crazy film I really liked at the time, but interesting to see there's not much difference between this and that on Internet Movie Database. So turn your brain off, basically, get through the first half, and it's okay. You don't have to think too much about the ins and outs of it for that first half of the film. It all becomes you don't have to concentrate too much. It all becomes informed to you what the hell's going on as the movie, the twists, etc. So you don't have to worry about it too much. Just watch it for what it is. Wan himself, yeah, as I said, he's got a mixed bag, he's a mixed bag of horror stuff to his name, and I think this just about probably makes it into the top half of his horror table. If you want to do a table of stuff that Wan's done, so top 6 possibly, but certainly top half of the table anyway. From a football point of view, I was looking at it through that. So I am going to give it, yes, a 6 out of 10, the basic watchable rating. And if it was to score it for the two halves of the film, or for the first 45 minutes, for the first half, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. But thankfully, for the last hour or so, the last 60 minutes of it, or the second half plus, I would give it, say, a 6.5. It became very watchable in a stupid way, but overall, I'm going to stick with the 6 based on that, because I think that's a fair reflection. Anyway, let me know if you get to watch this and what you think of it. As I say, it won't live long in the memory. It won't be a horror I'll be going back to watch time and time again, like obviously some do. I mean, Jeepers Creepers, I must have watched probably a dozen, 15, 20 times. I'm not too sure now, but yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that with this one. But not a total disaster. Well done, Mr. Wan. Anyway, at least you've got another one into the top half of your table, so that all bodes well. Anyway, thanks for watching. What we're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. We'll meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps have a flick across, have a look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. Whatever it is, I only ask one thing. Please stay safe, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.